Welcome in to All Eyes on Cleveland here on the Browns Film Breakdown Network. My name is Brad Ward. The man next to me is the one and only Casey Kinnamon. What is happening, big case dog? I apologize to everybody in the chat. We lost power here in the entire city. And then once the power was back, we had no internet. So I apologize to everybody. I know you're yelling at me for being late. About time. But it was not my fault. I swear it was not my fault, Case.
You should be better.
Be better.
Yeah, just be
Do
better.
better,
right?
Brad. Yeah.
Just we'll be better. We'll be better. We'll coach it up. We'll be better.
Well, that's all I can tell you, like Kevin says. We're just going to try to do better.
Well, you can say it every time. It doesn't matter. You can just keep saying it.
Mm-hmm. My hat's not on straight. I'm a mess right now. So
you know what's crazy is I used to never wear my hat straight. I went through at least a decade and a half of this.
Excuses.
At least.
Excuses. We've got so much to talk about too, Case, because so much has happened since.
Yeah, a domino fell today. I don't know if you know that.
Last on the air, a domino did fall. Do you feel all right? Let's start there. This is the most recent news. Let's start.
Let's do it.
Paul Depodesta is done 9.5 years, brother, as the chief strategy officer of your Cleveland Browns. I saw our boy Jack Duffin putting up the good fight for him on Twitter, naming the 3 good things that he claims that he has done, which were...
You could probably got to 5, you know. He didn't want Freddie. He wanted Stefanski.
He didn't want Freddie. He wanted Stefanski a year earlier.
He wanted McDermott, actually.
He wanted McDermott instead of Hugh.
Mm-hmm.
And then what was the other one?
It doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't even remember what the third one was. Like, I'm not saying there was no good happening, but like objectively, we can look at the tenure of him being the chief strategy officer, you know.
Here's what everybody says, though, right? And here's what I heard on the radio. And a lot on Twitter, too. Like, nobody knows what this guy does. So what does it matter, right? And here's where I come out on this, right?
Yeah.
Like, we know kind of what he did. I mean, he was in charge of like streamlining the information and stuff like that.
Guardrails. We know all that.
Guardrails, but like providing information, the kind of analytics that stuff. But here's what I think I do know. And I'm pretty sure on this. And I wrote this in Slack, so you probably know what I'm going to say here. But like, I am like 100% sure he was in the room or included on all of the big decisions made around this organization. And I think we've heard that before.
Yeah.
Like, they've talked about their process. He's in the room. The guy's in the room, or he's on a Zoom call if he's out in his house. He's in the Zoom. He's in the Zoom. He's in on every big decision.
Yeah.
And 1,000% he impacts Jimmy Haslam.
Yes.
I feel very confident in saying that.
Yeah. He was included on every big decision. Now we don't know what his stance was on every major decision, but we know he had a lot of influence in the organization. And we don't know exactly what he did, but he had a pretty cool job title. I'll give him that. Chief Strategy Officer. That sounds pretty baller.
It's a great job title.
But here's what we do know. In his tenure, there were 56, 99, and 1. Okay, now you could say part of the strategy was the 1 and 31, the tanking. Okay, I'll give you that.
Take that out.
Okay, we'll say that. So he was 55, 68, and 1. Objectively, the strategy was ass.
Yeah, it did not work.
It did not bear fruit. So that's at the end of the day. And this wasn't a firing. This wasn't a get out. You know, there was some rumblings that there was a meeting earlier in the week that didn't go great, and he dipped back into baseball. So
a meeting. So I didn't even hear this. Okay, tell me more about this. There was
I don't know anything about that meeting. I know that there was a meeting earlier in the week. It was bi-week stuff, just the bi-week stuff. Temperature check, and his contract was up after this year. So who knows what was said there? But he saw an exit. He saw an exit ramp, and he took it.
That tells you everything you need to know. If his contract was up. I didn't even know that.
Well,
his contract
26. His contract was up in 26. So you would have renegotiated a year early, just like you would for anybody.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So if his contract was up,
same time.
Yeah, if his contract was up, and is there rumors that this meeting didn't go well?
No, I didn't hear a thing. I just heard that he took by the result. You can see that he saw an exit ramp, whatever that was.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if it wasn't just like, hey, listen, we're not gonna, we're not extending, we don't need you anymore in this position. Your job is done here, and at the same time, he took that allowed him, because of the timing of baseball and all the changing of the guard in baseball is happening right now. So if he wants a job in baseball, he needs to know now.
Yeah.
If he wants to get out. I mean, objectively, the Colorado Rockies job is not that good, right? Like, in my opinion.
I mean, he came from the Eyez.
That's a good point.
Yeah. But I'll say, MC is saying in the chat that he saw a report that the meeting didn't go well.
Okay.
I did not see that. I was busy working. This all kind of happened during my rush at work. So it was a lot of information coming in at once. Hey,
listen, you suck, Debo. Yeah, party. Yeah, DeAndre, I'm with you, man. Listen, this is a step in the right direction for me. Yes. Now the question is, here's the question. Ultimately, is this a domino? Like you said, this is a domino.
Well, definitely a domino. Originally, those three, because we never put them together because the lockstep was always A, B, and Steph. The way we would always report it, the way we would hear it. Yeah. But originally, those three guys were on the same timeline. When they brought those guys into the fold, then they extended Depot to their contracts, and then those became out of whack last year. So originally that was, but because there's not a clear definition of what he did, and we can't point to this guy's responsible. For me, the guardrails. That's kind of like what I think of when I think of this guy. Now, what would be interesting to see is how they carry forward. Like, what do those guardrails get? What do they adhere to, and what do they bend on going forward now? Will they not be as rigid in the process? Would someone like Torrey Horton be on the menu now that he wasn't before because he didn't fit the age, brackets, stuff like that?
Question.
That's what I'm excited to see how that lines up going forward.
Yeah, you wonder how Andrew Berry, if he gets a chance to proceed without him.
Yep.
And because, I mean, you've got to think that Depodesta's thoughts on Stefanski were always going to back him as his guy.
Yeah.
So it would seem to me like it's one less voice in Haslam's ear saying Kevin.
That's one less champion in your corner in the organization. Right.
So how that impacts the outcome, to be determined. I don't know. All right. So we shared some crosswords with each other on Slack earlier this week. Not really cross, but just playfully cross. Let's go back because we haven't talked about it yet. Kevin gave up play calling
for the second year in a row.
This infuriates you.
It's like, so this guy's going to be in charge of whoever they draft now. So we're going to do this whole dance again when they take a quarterback in the first round, and we're going to be like, okay, Kevin, you're in charge of this guy now. Like that's the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results.
Yeah.
And we are way too far into this man's tenure to just keep accepting excuses. At some point that he needs to be the reason. And he's not. And the thing that's glaring to me is, why did we move on from Baker Mayfield? Because the narrative was everything around him has to be perfect for him to succeed. Is the same thing going for Kevin now? Because anytime there's an excuse, it's like, well, this happened or that happened. So everything has to be perfect around him or we can't judge him. To me, that's asinine.
Okay. He has been bad this year to the point where I think it's fireable offense. Like, I'm not going to support his job, but I will push back a little bit on that. Like, he hasn't really had a quarterback to work with, a real quarterback to work with, outside of Baker.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of a big part of an offense, A. And B, he got good results out of a team that was ravaged by injuries and went through 5 bad quarterbacks in one season and still made it to the playoffs. So he has elevated teams before that were not, where things certainly weren't perfect around him.
2 out of 6 years, though, man. We're far into this now. The sample size is big enough for me to at some point you got to make some lemonade, man. Like I look around the league and I see
what with Gabriel?
Dude, I look what are the Patriots doing? You know what I mean? You look around the league.
That's Drake May.
You're going to put that all on Drake May.
A lot of it, aren't you? Would they be doing the same with Dylan Gabriel?
The same? No, but they wouldn't be bad. They wouldn't be the team that we are. Bad. The floor would be higher. People are held accountable. The things. I'm not seeing the nuances, man. They don't win in the margins. And when you don't have an upper echelon quarterback, you have to win in that way. And they're not capable of it. And
You think he has the talent on offense to win?
To score more than 13 points a game? Yeah, man. You got to
probably yes. Yeah. Objective. Like I've already met you there with this. He's done a bad job this year. It's plain as day. It's in the film.
Yeah.
He didn't do a very good job last year. So I'm not disagreeing with you on that. But at the same time, let's not pretend that he's had a lot to work with the last 2 years.
I'm not saying it's an overabundance, but some of that when's that become part of what he's done? Are we all not giving him the Gabriel pick? I mean, whether that's true or not, are we not all
third round pick? No matter who you take there, it's a third round pick.
I understand.
That's what you're giving him to work with.
Did he not have a path, a vision for how that would work out? Or
okay, but
a way to
I doubt that
any. It looks no different than the quarterback he had before.
I doubt that any head coach would be like, "Yeah, give me a third round pick and I'll make it work." Give me a break, dude. No head coach is saying that. That's not realistic in the NFL. A third round pick to be your starting quarterback and make that work. That's not a realistic thing.
This is the bet he made, man. He's got to lay in it.
He didn't make this bet. How did he make this bet? This
is
my only defense of him.
Gabriel pick to him is what I'm saying.
I'm saying, yeah, that's fine. But who else could he have taken there in the third round that would have a different result right now?
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. But that's all they gave him. That's all they gave him.
So that was
his option. Huh?
So this is AB's fault because that's who they gave him?
Yeah, you have to give him something to work with. I mean, first of all, once again, I'm not defending his job because he deserves to be fired because of the job he's done on offense.
You tell me why he deserves to be fired if what I'm saying doesn't make sense to you.
No, what you're saying, he does deserve to be fired. But I think I'm at the point where I think AB has done just as bad of a job.
You think I'm here to defend AB? You're dead ass wrong.
Well, you're kind of making it sound like he's giving giving him enough.
At some point, there's culpability, man. It wasn't like he's in these meetings too. He's agreeing to things, or he's not, and they're not in lockstep, and just blow the whole thing up now. Like that. There's only two ways this thing goes. I watch coaches around the league do more with less.
Where?
Look around the league, man.
Where?
Just look around the league. Like,
give me one example.
We are the worst offense in the league, man. The
worst. Just give me an example. With less than what the Browns have on offense right now. Give me one example.
Well, that's where it becomes difficult. Less than the Browns have?
You said you've seen people do more.
No, just in general with the team, man. If every team we're playing.
Jacoby Brissett would have been a much better option.
But that's one player. We can't say that it's all the quarterback. At some point, your scheme has to matter.
The quarterback.
At some point, your scheme has to fucking matter, man. And it has to get people open. It has to have easy answers, and those things are not there. Like
it's the quarterback.
I'm not saying the quarterback's. Of course, it's the most important position in all of sports. But we can't be like Jacoby Brissett is this thing that it can't be. We can't overcome.
I'm not saying that.
I'm saying can do.
He gives you him and Marvin Harrison and
Trey McBride.
They make them a much more potent offense than what the Browns have right now.
Just those three players, and that's it. I mean, they're
and their offensive line play, just like all together. I mean, I'm just saying, like, you were the one that just pointed out in Slack a couple of days ago that it was an epic failure to even think that this offensive line could do anything this year.
100%. I said that's a fireable fence for AB for sure. Okay. And it's one thing for us to be like, okay, they're changing scheme and have this view of optimism. Behind the scenes, they have to know this was an abject failure. This was a dumpster fire waiting to happen. And a ton of bad contracts have led to this point, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, no, I'm not, at no point am I saying this is all Stefanski. This is a group failure across the board.
You know, Stefanski has failed this year, and I can't argue against that. It's just so... At the same time, it's like I knee-jerk react. Like, I'm not even trying to defend him right now, and I sound like I'm defending him, and I'm pissing everybody off. But, like, I'm not even trying to defend him. I'm just trying to, like... It's like... Man, he really... The Jets' offense has been better, really, Patrick? You think? I guess, maybe. I mean...
The biggest blow was just thrown in the chat that I've ever read in the history of the show.
What?
You are now Spam Ward. He took the name from me.
Whatever, man. It's like I'm just trying to make sense of it all, and it's really hard.
I don't think we're going to, man. I think that he lost his touch along the way, and a part of it's probably taking his foot off the pedal when they tried to change offenses for Watson, and he doesn't have the feel for what he did. And if you're the offensive guy, but you can't call the plays, and then look, man, what if this happens? What if this changes? And obviously, what happens against the Jets inconsequential. You beat the Jets, even if you blow their doors off, they're a bad team. We're a bad team. That's whatever. But are you going to do the CEO stuff? Is the team going to look better in the margins with him not calling plays? That's his only path forward for me. That's it. And it has to happen right now out of the bye. There's none of this like, oh, they got to get a feel for it. Like, you've already burned all that goodwill, man. I have seen too much failure. We've seen two playoff appearances in 6 seasons. But the way that it's trending, I do not see a way that I can believe in year 7 of this operation. And maybe I'm wrong, man. And I'll come here. If they have a 4-game winning streak in them, I'll come here and say that I'm dead ass wrong. I don't see it though.
Yeah, I don't see it either. I'm just saying that I get, you know, here's the thing. If you would have given me, here's how I'll put this, where I'm at. Like, and I'm not defending Stefanski, and I don't mean to. It's just a knee-jerk reaction, right? It's like, it's upsetting that he gave up. Well, let's talk about this first, and then I'll kind of explain it. Well, I guess I'll explain this first, why I'm reacting this way. It's like, I wanted to believe in Kevin so badly. Yes. And he gave us examples of good scheme and layered play calling and sequence play calling for a couple years. And then the Watson thing happened, and since then he's never been the same play caller or offensive coach. I don't think you could coach for Watson. I don't think you could fit what he did. And what they're running this year and last year, even after Watson, is inexcusably bad to the point where he stopped doing all the things that he used to be good at, that they don't. And Jake is, if you're not, paying attention to the film breakdown, this is like fact. It's out there. You can flat out see that he doesn't do what other coaches are doing and finding success doing in the NFL. Like we use that Corley, end around as in play. But it could be any play that generates success for you, right? On offense. He's not revisiting it. He's not building wrinkles off of it. He's not, being creative in any way. So it's like I can't defend him as a play caller. But at the same time, it's like, man, it's like I feel bad like wanting him fired, and I do want him fired because I think it's obvious that he can't do the job anymore, but I feel bad feeling that way because it's like I don't think he was given much of a chance either. Like I don't really make it. Do you think that Kevin, just gut feeling, do you think Kevin really wanted Deshaun Watson?
I don't know, because from the reports that he was there and he met with him for hours, they talked film.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, if you had objections to that, because you were marrying yourself to this man because you knew you're going to have him for 4 or 5 years or whatever.
But
I mean, if your objections weren't stated then.
All right. Well, I'll change the question then. Does he seem like a fit for what Kevin
does?
Not
at all. When I said that,
not at all.
He's in Kevin's offense, you have to be an anticipatory thrower, right? Deshaun's never been that. Even at his best, he's a read and react. He's a see it open, throw it open. You know what I mean? He's not throwing people into windows. As soon as he would just put it on you when he would see the separation. Like, obviously, if you just go back and watch those, but he was able to make those things look easy. So it's just like, oh, and they were talking, and at that point he was operating literally 90% out of shotgun while he was in Houston. And that was not Kevin's offense at that time. And they talked about him playing under center and what the run game was going to be able to give him and how that was going to open up all new avenues to Watson's game. This was the rhetoric that was, espoused to us at the time of that terrible ass signing. But none of that was true. Deshaun was completely uncomfortable under center. It was a mismatch from the start, skill wise.
It was a mismatch. I think he got sold on it and said, I think I can figure it out. But it doesn't make sense. Like, it's not a match for what he does. And this all comes down to those 13 seconds in the Buffalo Kansas City game. That game was so wild that everyone walked away from that game saying, if you ain't got a top 5 guy, don't even bother. Yep.
And they scrambled to get who was perceived to be that guy. And it just obviously
and couldn't account for whatever, you know what I mean? So once he I never said he didn't have a say in personnel. I never said that. But, like, they got Watson, and what other quarterbacks has he had to work with? That's all I'm saying is, like,
not a top-tier guy, but I don't think if you look at his
good job with Jacoby. He did a good job with Jacoby. That's what I'm saying.
Then why wasn't Jacoby held on to? Because it wasn't going to be a cost-prohibitive contract. Even like this is the God's honest truth, and it's hindsight, and I know that's 2020. I should have been out on him when he gave up play calling and wouldn't call for Winston. Because that skill set matches what Kevin does. And for whatever reason, oil and water, no one can set an ego aside, whatever it is. You got to make that shit work, man. That's your charge.
I guess. That was disappointing to me that he did that last year because he never gave that a chance with him. Because if anybody could have got Winston to a place, it would have been him.
Mm-hmm. I thought so. It doesn't mean it would have worked, but that's what I thought.
But
and that's why Winston went there in the first
place. That he's really the answer. Yeah, Jacoby was 5-7. I'm not talking about his record. He got good quality quarterback play or whatever he was. 3-7.
It's the high watermark of Jacoby's career play wise.
It's the best game. It's the best football he's ever played
until right now. He's in a window kind of similar right now. Under Petzing, who was under Stefanski,
who was here then.
Yep, tight end.
Petzing knows exactly how to get that out of him because he was here then. Maybe it was Petzing. I don't know, but like it just thinks since then. I'm not saying Kevin. I'm not saying that Kevin doesn't have a say in personnel. I'm just saying, have they really given him a legitimate chance outside of Watson? With like, you guys say you got to make it work, but like. There are a bunch of backups that he's had to deal with and below average shit quarterbacks that they've asked him to elevate. He hasn't been able to do it. He should have been able to do better than he's done, which is why he deserves to be fired.
Yeah.
But like when Watson was here, we were looking at film of Watson missing wide open guy after wide open guy, right? Patrick, he had Baker, and he had Baker playing good football until he got hurt. So, you know what I mean? He was horrible in his last year because he was hurt.
Yeah.
It was the same thing that year. There was film
the thing that
clearly
ultimately
that
didn't
neither
work
of
with
those
Baker,
guys would throw into windows. You know what I mean?
The thing that ultimately drove Baker out, we have to be realistic, is because he was the first overall pick, if we re-sign him, it would have reset the market as a quarterback. He's not even doing that now. And he is playing he's playing way better, obviously. But like they couldn't justify paying that dude $50 million a year at that time. So they paid someone else who people believed was worth that at the time.
He is in fact the they that you are saying is to blame, at least in part? Yeah, I don't know.
Well, the lockstep part, we don't know, man. The 30 for 30 on this shit's going to be wild. Let's just say that. You wait till this comes out 5 years from now. The whole Depot, AB, Jimmy, Kevin, Watson fiasco, that will be a 30 for 30 at some point.
Regardless of what he was given to work with, and let's be real, what he was given to work with this year was just silly at quarterback, right? But beyond that, you expected more from him. You expected him to at least elevate this group to a competent level.
That's
right?
all I'm asking. Competency.
Because of what you had on defense, you expected him to just get Flacco to a level of play that could get you through 6 games. And he didn't do that, but they were still in the games to be there. They just couldn't finish 2 games that they really should have won, right? In Cincinnati and Minnesota. And he'd be
maybe stole a game they should have won, to be honest with you, in Green Bay.
Then they stole it. Yeah, facts. But Flacco looked awful here. And almost threw for 500 yards the other night.
Common denominator. Flacco and Gabriel, their best game was the first game they played in. And they got worse every game after.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just and it's clear in the film in what they're doing offensively that Stefanski has lost a grip with whatever he was trying to do. Yeah. And he's unable to find it at this point, right?
Yeah. He's a 3-point shooter, lost his touch.
He's lost his fastball. He's lost his touch. He can't get it done. So he can't be here anymore, honestly, after this year.
Yeah, because that's what you're doing here, right? If you finish on the trajectory you're finishing on, you're going to pick in the top 10, and you're going to end up with Dante Moore, a Ty Simpson, a Fernando Mendoza, not in that order, hopefully. But I can't hand that to Kevin and be like, all right, I can't do it.
Unfortunately, I can't do that, right? Yeah. Because it's not fair to the quarterback, because of the position he's put himself in. Because if you give a guy on the hot seat a quarterback, a high-pick quarterback, then he rushes him in, then he tries to get more out of him than he should, and that's what happens, right? Like it's not fair to him. Like you need to give him the adequate runway that comes with a new coach. Facts?
Yes. Well, because of the kiss of death for rookie quarterbacks to have a guy for 1 year and then they're gone. And then you start, you know what I mean? Can we address Benny's question by chance? Can you see that in there?
No.
It's already scrolled up too far for me to see. Go his last comment about what if Reese, the spark is there with Reese, and does that cause Kevin to stay?
Thanks, Benny, for the question. Thank you guys all for the questions, guys. I was trying to put them on the screen here so everybody can see him. I'm trying to scoot up so I can see him better. I don't have my...
Yeah, they're coming in fast. It went away. I saw it as it came in.
What if Reese lights it up?
Yeah, and this offense all of a sudden has a spark to it. To me, that's an indictment on Kevin.
An incredible indictment on Stefanski.
There is a world where that happens, but the other stuff gets fixed because he's the CEO type. Because head coaches don't have to be one thing or another. We've painted Kevin as this offensive guy. He might not be that, and he may have developed into something else. But all of a sudden, the accountability would have to be there. The penalties have to be down. The operation needs to be tight. You know, all the margin stuff that you're losing on has to tighten up during that same period. It can't just be the offense looks good so Kevin gets to say. That is, man, that hurts my soul to read.
Clint Kubiak?
That's my guy, dude. That's been my guy. I've been championing.
I know, but talk about replacing. That's like replacing one guy with his twin brother.
I don't see it like that. But that's who Kevin should have hired to begin with to be his OC, because then he could have taken that step back and his offense could have fresh eyes. That guy was with Shanahan. That guy has a different take on the Kubiak system because he branched out. You know, I'd have been all in on that. That's the guy I wanted them to bring in before they went to New Orleans, before they brought in Dorsey. I wanted Clint Kubiak.
I'm kind of in on like Yeah, I would listen to Kubiak. I would listen to the Brady. I would listen to the Kingsbury stuff.
Kingsbury kind of odd is odd to me a little bit out of that group because I've seen him as a head coach and he doesn't have the one quality. And I don't know that Kubiak has the quality for that as a head coach. I want a leader of men. That's my number one requirement, man. We need, and I don't know that if they do that. And we know they're offensive minds, But this is like any other thing, man. You get in life. I don't give a shit what it is.
Yeah.
But like anytime you have a breakup
bad,
in life, you go towards the opposite. Whether if you had a defensive coach last, you're probably going to go offensive next, or however you want to look at it. I don't know if that's the direction they'll swing. Just another offensive guy. I want a leader of men. That's my number one qualification for this next.
Doesn't Jesse Minter like strike you as like the Stefanski of defensive coaches? A little bit.
I hadn't thought about it in that way.
Real even keel. Like never gets too excited.
Can't coach with him.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Yeah. I mean, I've come to the realization, unfortunately, we've all, unfortunately come to the realization that Kevin is done here or should be done here.
Well, can we talk about our fears now?
Let's talk about our fears.
Let's go. Let's just go back to what Jimmy said before the season, man.
Before the season and after the Miami win.
Yeah, after the Miami game, he threw the endorsement. But sometimes mid-season endorsements are the kiss of death every now and again. They want to make it appear. But what he said before the season was like, they were almost prepared to be bad this year. And me and you push back like, nah, man.
Well, does it feel like there's any sense of urgency around the season?
No.
With them?
No.
Do you think if Kevin's job was on the line? Here's the question for me. And I saw somebody else. Somebody else asked this first. This is not original. So it was somebody in our Slack chat, or actually, I think it was somebody in our Substack chat over at Rounds Film Breakdown said this after he gave up play calling. If his job was still on the line, if Kevin's job was on the line, and he had his choice, don't you think he would have gone down with the ship, calling plays to try to save his job the last 9 weeks of the season?
Unless he knows he's cooked as a play caller. If he doesn't believe in himself to get this problem done,
I can't imagine that. I think he still thinks I don't know, maybe.
I mean, he gave up play calling for 2 years in a row. Name another coach that's ever done that. I've never heard of such a thing. Ever.
Only guys that are like cemented and want to give somebody else a chance. Like I think that the Chiefs Andy Reid has done it, given up play calling a few times.
I'm saying back-to-back years though, because it's not working. Andy was like,
not because it's not working. Like for
Andy's like the safety net. If it doesn't work, I can always just step back in and we're good to go. Yeah. So I'll give Bieniemy a chance, or I'll give Matt Nagy. That's what he's done that in the past. But this is not in this instance. Not where like it's not working, and to make this work, I'm going to give up play calling.
Here's the comment. Jimmy kept Hugh.
Yeah, I know.
Which was unthinkable, and the things he has said, and one of the things that giving up play calling tells me is he either thinks he's safe, or somebody took it away from him. That was my thought. It's one or the other.
Was told if you don't make changes, we will type thing. And it was like,
listen, this isn't working. Somebody's sharp enough that saw what we've been seeing on film.
You ain't got to be that sharp.
Got to Barry, right? And said, listen, dude, this dude ain't cutting it as a play caller. He's not getting it done, regardless of the lack of talent on the offensive side of the ball, which is substantial, by the way.
Yeah.
They are missing a lot of pieces, but so either take him out of that role or he took himself out of that role because he knows he's safe next year.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
Same. I mean, I told you earlier, like, I just keep that thing Jimmy said keeps replaying in my head. Like, were they prepared to be this bad again? No. See, I can't say that. I saw a path. I saw a path forward, man. But part of it was my optimism when they were changing back to the scheme. That had a lot to do with it, because if not, you had to retool the offensive line. And now, even then, my offensive line was still my biggest fear, because I thought Flacco would give you a base level to work with.
He never went back to it, though.
No, dude, we're not doing any wide zone. We're near the bottom of the league in boots and play actions and all this shit.
He never went back to it.
I know, but we all lied to ourselves because we were told. And more important, can we talk about Joel Bitonio being lied to? Like, this dude came back for this. Like, God, man, this
ain't bad.
I feel terrible, dude. And then, like, can we also
revisit a comment from
Myles Garrett, how they told him a quarterback plan and he was in?
Give me a break.
Did they though? Is he lying through his teeth like that never happened, or did they really sell him on what's happening right now? Because this is wild.
That's the comment, Jack. Because I agree with you, man. I'm afraid. I'm scared that he will do the same thing with Kevin and take him into next year, knowing how bad he's been, for the sake of continuity's sake.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because he's comfortable with whatever this is. Like my guy right here just said, passes were given out. Do you believe that? I think it's possible.
No, I can't. There's not as, I can't say that's impossible for sure. But James asked a question: does Reese have the power to swap QBs if he likes? I don't know that, but I will say this about Reese: what I'm hearing, he's kind of an asshole. Like if you're not, you're going to get called out if you're not playing well. Because that's the thing that kills me is I'm seeing these guys not make plays, be in the wrong position, quit on plays, but then I'm seeing them get the opportunities right away. Hopefully there's an end to that with Reese in charge of this operation. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, you're going to be off the field. And that needs to extend to the quarterback as well. But then again, we have a whole nother subset of problems because we have a backup quarterback who's been injured 3 times during the season and not playing. Like, how does this happen?
I don't know what's
That's
going
a whole
on
different subset of questions. Was he even ready to go? Is he even going to be ready to go in?
It sounds like he's going to be ready this week, but
see, Benny,
I don't know what happened to him.
What Benny's saying right there, like that's he's going to call people out if they're not handling their business, and this team needs that, man. This team lacks so much accountability.
They do across the board, and part of being able to be accountable in the NFL is having enough talent around you. Like, you can't, like, if there's nothing behind, like Jerry Jeudy can just suck all day. What else are we going to put on the field? He's the only NFL receiver we have.
I would take him off the field.
I still would too.
I would.
But like at the same time, if you're fighting for your job, you know what I mean? And this is the only guy that can do it. Like holding players accountable is kind of a luxury at the NFL level of not just talent around you, but like also job security. Like, if you need a certain result and you don't have the time, like if you haven't developed the culture over time, you can't start now. Do you know what I mean? You just can't start all of a sudden in the middle of a season that you're sucking, holding guys accountable for not doing their job. It had to be that way all along.
That is why I want a leader of men first and foremost, my man. Because that is the bare minimum requirement to be an NFL player.
So I'm not worried about the cap space, Eric. I know a lot of people are saying that, but the cap space will be fine. Unless this is my issue with getting rid of Barry. Like,
it's not an issue, it's a concern for me.
It's a concern. Whoever you bring in, it brings his cap guy, and they'll have to figure it out. But like, you're still gonna be stuck. Like, you're not there. they're not going to bring somebody in and just tear it all down. Like, that's not going to happen. It still has to be this accelerated rebuild. Like, you can't do it without setting yourself back like 3 years financially.
Yeah. There are certain things you can't walk away from right now.
You can't walk away from Denzel. You can't walk away from Miles. You can't walk away from some of these guys. So you're kind of stuck in this middle zone, right? So, yes, it is a rebuild, but
this delays the complete rebuild because you can't tear it down to the studs.
I wouldn't tear it down to the studs even if I could. I don't believe in that.
No, I don't believe it either, but I'm just saying that's not even an option for you because you wouldn't be able to field a team financially if you did.
Like, if somebody wanted to give you like 4 ones for Miles, you can't even really do it. You're going to have to eat $78 million in dead cap on top of what you're already trying to do with Watson. So, like, they have managed Watson, and they will have spending power next year to add. Like, they will have like something like $98 million in cap room. There's only 8 guys that have guaranteed deals into next year. Yep. Only 8 players. So they will have some flexibility with the roster moving forward. But because of the way that things are structured, which makes me think that Hills here, I don't know what that means. That makes me think Kramer's throwing me off my game here. Here's Hail Mary, Brad. Oh, okay. Yeah, No, I'm not saying that. I am saying they will have money to spend. I mean, like, that's a fact. It's not. I'm just not making that up. I can break it down for you in an article here on Saturday if you want. If you don't believe me, but like, they will have money to spend. You can't only have 8 players with guaranteed money next year and not have some money to spend. But the issue is, if Barry's not here, what will the guy that comes in do to the roster? Yeah. And typically a guy coming in that's not
those aren't his guys.
They're not his guys. Yep. And he's going to want to move guys around. And if he does that, he could screw up the money big time. And how far does he want to go into screwing up that money? And how many years do you want to sacrifice trying to get that back? It's a fuck fest.
Yeah.
They're fucked.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, if you do decide to replace Barry, it has to be with someone from an organization who has cap thinking in a similar way. The Eagles are one. And it's that cash over cap attitude. And then Jimmy still has to be willing to spend. He's going to have to spend his way out of it, man. And
the Hail Mary is that it works, but they still spend that money. I don't know what that means. I don't know.
There is a path forward, but man, you got to hit. You
have to hit on the
free agents. You got to pay guys for what they're going to do, not what they've done. That's first and foremost. You have to retool this offensive line. Yeah. You have to find a quarterback, and that quarterback still might be 2 or 3 years away from being the quarterback you need to take you somewhere, but you got to get him in the building. So in the draft, you got to hit on the right guy. You got to retool this offensive line, and you need receiving help, man. Like, keep as much of the defense intact as you possibly can.
You can't do that. You can't eat it all in 1 year.
No, it's literally impossible. You will not be able to field a team.
Yeah.
If you do something like that, the NFL is going to have to step in like the NBA did for the Sixers.
Exactly.
That's crazy. God damn it. I can't believe we're there.
Yes, spending isn't the issue here. That's not even the issue here. Spending money isn't the issue here. They will have money to spend. They will have pieces to add, but you don't make NFL teams in free agency. You just don't. You make NFL teams by drafting and developing players, and then you add free agents to bolster.
But because of the shape of that's the whole reason I want to see these young guys play offensive line now. I don't want to wait to find out if Luke can play center next July. I don't want to wait on that shit, man. I need to know now because we need to know how many of these dudes we got to replace. Because as I'm looking at it right now, all 5 of the guys who are walking out there as starters cannot be the starters next year.
Foxy, you can't be listening to Jack and be telling me that you can eat that money in 1 year because he will tell you the exact opposite. I mean, he will. He will. I mean, maybe they can eat it in 1 year, but they will not. They're going to spread it out for as long as they can.
Well, that's the whole point of the void years on the back end.
That's the whole point of what he's done. It's structured like that. That's the dummy year built into Deshaun's. Sorry, I'm trying to fix. I hate that shit. Auto zoom.
Yeah, but if they would have recognized the Deshaun Watson fiasco for what it was earlier and not put those on, you could have done what they did with Russell. But because you did that and you kept restructuring,
but you already did it.
I know what I'm saying. Well, not immediately.
Yeah.
They didn't. Yeah. When they started doing that, that's when they, the whole kicking the can down the road, because $1 tomorrow is worth more than $1 is today. And you know how that works, because the NFL cap will keep going up and those margins keep changing. But it's, and I haven't, here's the point. It's kind of wild for me to say this. I'm out on this regime. I'm out. I don't see success in year 7, 8, 9 based on what I've seen, this trajectory. I also haven't started scouring for replacements. I don't have names at the top of the list. You got to go after this guy, that guy, this guy. I don't, and part of that's the optimism in me holding on that maybe there'll be a spark and this turns around. But we're so damn close. I wanted it to work, man. I wanted it to work so bad. I wanted to believe.
Yeah.
Just because we've been so low for so long.
Well, I thought we had the guys and we saw a glimpse of results. Yeah, I understand what you're saying too, Foxy. I'm just saying they're not. They might be able to functionally do that. They're just not going to do that. I understand exactly what you're saying. Trade him, split him out over 2 years. The DW thing is the Watson thing already has it built in. They're going to carry him through. Unfortunately, they're going to carry him through 26 to push that all the way into 28.
Jack will say that
pushes
too.
The money. Listen to Jack. He's going to tell you that's the only way through and staying functional and spending power. I'm not going to get into we can break it all down, but they're just not going to do it. You could do it, but they're just not going to. And they're going to instead spread it out, and they're going to keep Miles because what do you mean stop with the spending power? That's exactly what it is. It's money that you can spend on the market. It's
cash over cap, man.
What do you want me to call it? Man, that's pissing me off, dude. Yeah, so anyways, my dogs. What up, OG?
What's up, OG?
So, but really,
having a feel good conversation for the ages in here.
Yeah. So, I mean, so let's talk about it then. What is the way out? What is the way out? What's the best way out? You find a coach.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, all right.
You're going to fire a GM. You find a GM first, right?
Well, here's the thing: is if you look at what they did with what they attempted to do with Dorsey, and Dorsey turned it down, is they wanted to take the title of GM and just move him to an evaluation role, player personnel. He declined, and then he took the same job for Detroit 2 years later. Whatever.
Can't do it with Dorsey.
No. But if you just from the player evaluation, they didn't want him making the contractual decisions in hiring people, and they shouldn't. That's what I'm saying. But understand, you want to do the same thing with Barry, but you want him in charge of the cap. Like if you can just keep him on and make him the president of operations, slide him over to whatever fucking shadow agent that Depot was, but give him the power to be in charge of your contracts, in charge of your cap, but then bring another voice in to be to lead the coaching search, to do all those things. I doubt AB would take that, but I think you would offer that, right? If you wanted to keep AB in any capacity, what capacity would it be?
As a cap manager,
and make him the president and fluff up some whatever you got to do, and then you're going to have to get a GM in here.
Do you think there's any chance that taking Depodesta out of the equation somehow frees up Barry to do more of maybe like what he would like to do?
Maybe. I mean, we don't know, but today was a positive thing for me. Like as far as
it's a huge positive.
taking this thing out of the equation.
Direction.
even though we didn't know the exact specifics of what he did, just taking it out of the equation because it'll allow me to judge the other shit now. Like, okay, what moves do they make now? How do they evaluate the draft? Those things might change now. And then, because we're such in a free fall this season, I just don't see the vision right now for those guys still being there.
Do you view Flores as a leader of men?
Yes, he's also an asshole, which I don't mind. That's fine by me. But he has a lawsuit against the NFL right now.
Yeah.
So, but then again, Jimmy's spit in the face of the league a few times now. Maybe he'll do it there as well.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that Deep. I cannot be. Let's make sure that Deep. We make this clear. Today was a huge thing. That's a big thing that Depodesta is gone.
Yes.
Like, that's a huge impact. I'm convinced that Kevin has to go.
Mm-hmm.
I could be swayed on Barry.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm at. I probably want to get rid of both of them, but I could be swayed on Barry just because he's coming off a really good draft.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't fielded a shit team this year on offense, but if you just have to hit on the quarterback. And I know everybody keeps laughing at me and says that's Brad, Hail Mary, Brad's calling for the Hail Mary. I know because Jake calls it the Hail Mary, right? Getting out of this thing is a Hail Mary. Step by step, but if you hit on the quarterback, the pieces start to fall into place. They just do, especially when you have, I don't know. But for me, the next thing that has to fall is Kevin. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't.
And you have to hit on a quarterback.
This thing has to look wildly different coming out of the bye. Not just offensively, but as a team, as the entire operation, pillar to post, has to look wildly different for me to ever be able to get back on board with bringing that dude back for a 7th season. I don't see it happening personally. And I'll come in here and say, like I said, if they got a 4-game winning streak in them and everything looks different, the operation looks different, the penalties are way down, the clock management's airtight, the challenges are on point, like all those little nuances that you have to nail if you are a CEO type coach. If you're just an overseer, those things have to be rock solid.
Oh, I'm not in a bad mood, MC. I mean, this stuff is they're in a tough spot, man. Let's be real. They're in a real bad spot right now,
Yeah.
And talking through like Stefanski, like knowing that Stefanski has utterly failed doesn't put you in a great mood. Being as bad as they are doesn't put you in a great mood. You know what I mean? But I'm trying to stay optimistic in that I think that like they could find their way out of it if they hit on the right picks. They have the assets to land a quarterback and, move forward. OG Philly says Tommy actually said some things that he liked. Interesting. I mean, I'm interested to see what Tommy does.
Even if this offense looks wildly better with Reese, I think that probably just elevates him to take a bigger college job at the end of this.
Yeah.
Because his style of coaching would fit better in college than it would the pros.
You could reset your cap and try to move new players on in the first, but like that's a complete tear down. So you're not even able to restart with your QB. Like you'd be fielding that quarterback with
2 or 3 years from now. Yeah.
Right. I think they want to try to take the quarterback high and hang on to this defense long enough to get back into a window in the next couple of years is my thought. Right. So, I just, what would be how great re-signing him would be? I don't know. You're talking about, what were you talking about? Pete. You're talking about Pete. Yeah, no, I mean, I just don't. I understand where you're coming from, Foxy. I just don't think they're in a position where they will just eat the cap. You know what I mean? I just don't think they will. because I think he has at least positioned himself in a place Barry has where they can go forward and be. They can still.
It's hard to see that right now because you're 2-6 and it's been abysmal. It is
hard to see that.
But when you go back to there are only 8 players guaranteed money next year, things start freeing up in that capacity.
I fear that Reese is headed for a head coaching job in college.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely outcome of this. And this just raises his profile more to take a bigger job if it goes well.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think the Browns intend to keep him around as like the solution or anything. Do you?
Well, I don't know. I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out real soon.
But basically, at this point, if we're talking about this season, I just want to see what Reese can do, and I would like to see what Shedeur can do. Like, yep. I don't care to see any more of the little guy, you know?
Yeah. I think my number is still, I would make the switch, but you can't make the switch. The kid's injured. He's still practicing on a limited basis.
It would have been ideal to make it this year or this bye
week. Yeah. You had 2 weeks. Obviously, the players are going for a week, but you have a week. The coaches aren't on bye. You got a week to scheme and set things up. I don't know. That's a whole different.
What would that have told you if they? What would that have told you if he gave up play calling again and made the change to Shedeur in the?
I predicted that. I predicted that when they made the change, Kevin wouldn't be the play caller.
What's wrong, Carlisle? Why, Brad? You already know he isn't a franchise quarterback. It's going to stop you from drafting. Why do I want to see
from drafting one, man?
Shedeur? I don't expect him to, but I would still like to see him. It's more entertaining than watching Dillon Gabriel, Carlisle.
And dude, if he balls out, man, and he's in the conversation and he's still under contract, it doesn't mean he can't compete next year. You know, but I think Six Pack in the chat asked, "What quarterback do you like?" So out of the quarterbacks that appear to be headed for the draft, more maybe Simpson, most likely Mendoza based on is Mendoza your guy?
Mendoza's my first choice, but I'll listen to, and my fear is that Sellers is going to go back to school.
I think he is. I think he'll transfer.
But if he was going to come out, I would be okay with taking Sellers or Mendoza or Simpson. Moore doesn't quite do it for me yet, but those 3 would be my top 3.
It's just funny because before the last draft, it was like, nah, this isn't the year. Next year's the year. Like it was going to be this like golden age of quarterback, and it's like doesn't look like it. And don't get me wrong, they'll probably still go 3 of them go in the first round. You know, maybe 4th, probably 3. But this class hasn't budded in the way that we anticipated. But we do this every year. It doesn't matter. We'll shit on, we'll be like, next year's the year. And then as it gets close, we'll start shitting on it. Start picking things apart. The problem with Moore and Simpson for me is just the lack of experience.
Yeah, Barry, I've read that article, obviously. Moore equals Jordan Love, Mendoza equals Carson Palmer.
I see Mendoza as more of a Matt Ryan with better athleticism.
Think Moore's like Jordan Love? I mean, I hope. I haven't, to be honest. I'll be perfectly honest. It's the NFL season. Don't really dive into like QB evaluations until the end of the year.
Yeah. I don't watch cut-ups at this time of year. I watch games. So I'm seeing TV copy, and then I'm not pulling all 22 right now, but I know enough people that I'm kind of getting, and I keep doing temperature checks on things because like if we're talking about Moore or Simpson with guys that have that little amount of experience, I need to know that you're a unicorn. I need to know that. If I'm gonna take a guy who's only played 12 games in college, you got to be a fucking unicorn. Yeah. You need to have some.
The numbers in the league tell you that. There's like it's like laid out plain as day. Like
either you got 30 college starts or you're a unicorn. That's
you're
the two buckets.
Yeah. There's like no in between at all.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think there's one example.
Yeah.
Of an in between guy. Yeah. So. Yeah, I mean, I you know, I would look at, I'll look at these guys, and we'll dig in. You will too. We'll all dig into the film and form a better opinion. But I'm open to Dante Moore. I haven't seen as much of him. But yeah, if you think he's Jordan Love, then that would be great. Is there any chance you think that the Browns find a way to not go through the draft and obtain a quarterback that is worthwhile?
Yeah, because look around the league. The reclamation projects are all the rage.
Yeah, but that's another different kind of roll of the dice. Like, who would that be for you?
Not for me. I don't, but I'm saying, like, and this is a name that would enrage me last year, which is my fault. I was short-sighted. McCorkle Jones. Look at Mac Jones. If he's your Band-Aid for a year or two while you develop someone, you know.
I wanted Danny Dimes. Look at him now.
Mm-hmm. Can we get Shane Steichen to come with him?
Shane Steichen, yeah.
It's just true. I mean, that's
true.
You know,
it's true. It's a lot of.
But I can't say that he hasn't obviously exceeded what I thought. You know, I didn't think they would even give him the option to start. I figured they were going to have to die on the Richardson hill just because top 5 pick. You know what I mean? But they pulled the ripcord on that pretty damn quick. Yeah, but with the way Kevin was calling offense, I just don't think Pickett's seeing that much success either. Now, if Kevin was in his bag, could he have had success with Pickett? Maybe.
Yeah. He would have at least, he would have at least been a safety net or a human shield to keep little guy from going out there as early as he did. Week 5, right?
But could you get on board with Clint Kubiak and McCorkle Jones?
Could I?
For a year or two?
If you're going to do it, you better draft somebody alongside him. High.
Yeah, like, well, dude,
he ain't going to be the long-term solution.
No. Yeah, we're talking about, you give him a 3-year contract, 4-year contract, but, you're all guaranteed money the first 2 probably. And those are the 2 years you're actually counting on him to be, an option for you.
That's a good point, McLaughlin.
Well, that's what I said. I don't think if we hand Kevin Kenny, it would have mattered. Not the way, just where Kevin's at in his career.
Yeah. It's hard. I can't root for them to lose is the thing I have an issue with.
Yeah, I've never been that guy. I've never been I want to see wins, but I'm obviously I've come to the conclusion. I still think they're going to win some games because they play some really bad teams. I think they could be in, they could beat the Jets. Vegas agrees. They could beat the Titans, maybe the Raiders, maybe the Bears, But obviously, if you
beat up on the Dolphins,
well, that's what you should do to bad teams.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean you're a good team because you beat bad teams,
Yeah.
Then it hurts your draft position. There's people that just die. You should be looking to lose every game. I can't do that. I can't do it. I'll never be that guy who roots for my team to lose. Unless it's the last week of the season and you're playing backup. So I'm cool. Yeah. At that point, it's whatever.
Me too. The world's fastest. Me too, man. I hate tanking so bad. I hate thinking that loss is the best thing. But it's like at this point, especially with at one point I felt that it didn't matter. Like they would be able to get up to where they needed to get if they really wanted to either way. But there's so many bad teams in the league right now and bad teams that also need quarterback that it's kind of changed that view. Now the Jets are like loaded with all the picks in the world. But God, I wouldn't want to be doing what the Jets are doing. Like selling off their best pieces. I can't. There's no way. It's also their ages are also a lot different too.
Yes. Yeah. Well, you remember in the founders chat just last week, there was like that big debate, like, would you trade places with the Jets right now? This is before they sold off the pieces. Yeah. And almost everyone said the Jets had a better situation, but the Jets disagreed because they just blew it all up real quick.
Internally, they did, yeah.
Blew that shit up. But I'll say this, man, because props to the Jets. Because what you don't see is if you're going to trade a player, especially a high name player, you need to do it during the draft because then you're trading for assets that you're a positive you're getting. They were able to do this midseason and get 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner. Dude, teams weren't willing to give the Ravens 2 firsts for Lamar Jackson just 2 years ago. And they got 2 firsts for Sauce Gardner. Like, that's wild to me, man. Like, they got the Colts to get over their skis on that one.
They did. Chris Ballard lost. He doesn't make trades like that very often. I don't know if he knew what he was doing quite right there. That's crazy.
But they must view themselves as a player short. Like, okay, we need this. They really think they have a chance this year, which I don't. And that's my lack of faith in Dime Store Danny. Like I don't think that they're going to a playoff team that, regular season they can rack up wins. But if the bottom line is for me with the Colts is, if they're in the AFC Championship and they're down 6 points and they have the ball in their own 20 with 2 minutes to go, am I living in fear of Daniel Jones? I'm not, personally. So I don't think they were one player away from, but they did obviously because they just threw 2 firsts at it.
I couldn't agree more about Indy. Indy is like they're not a real threat. I don't think.
It's got their pants pulled down by Pittsburgh.
What Carlisle said is true. Here, we do want the Titans to lose because
they already got the quarterback.
If they already got their quarterback, they make the ideal trade up spot.
Mm-hmm.
Because you could put a package together if you really want it, if you really love the guy, right, and maybe get in front of the Jets or the Raiders or whoever the fuck else is up there, right?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Facts.
So, yeah, that would be a good outcome. And also the Jaguars, continuing to not be very good. I know they lost a couple in a row and then squeaked one out against the Raiders, but I do not think they're a very good football team.
And you're not a Trevor Lawrence believer, but do you think Trevor, and this is also true with Kyler right now, not for us, I don't want either one of those players. That's me being short-sighted. I just don't like them, but they would obviously be the upgrade from what we have right now. Granted. I don't think they're going to be starting for those teams for very much longer.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I mean, they are rolling with Brissett now.
And they put Kyler on the IR this week when he practiced with the ones last week.
That's brutal, man. I would listen to Kyler as a bridge.
Yeah. You would hate it.
You got to give me like the right quarterback or the right coach. I mean, for that, like
at Cliff.
He already did that experiment,
but that's when it looked good. That's the only time that looked good was that. It ain't looked good since then.
It's a good point. Good point. Not that I love him, Chris, by any stretch. I'm just saying, I mean, at least he would provide a certain level of play.
It's better than what we have now. I'm not saying that should never be the bar, by the way, but if we're just being realistic, same thing. I don't like Trevor Lawrence, but he'd be way better than what we have right now.
I guess. Did he get more? Yeah, he got. Well, no, he moved back a couple spots.
He got a first and moved back in, but also got a second.
A first and a second, yeah. So about equal, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look how that stretches. Here's my thing. So what the Cowboys did at the deadline to me seems the most foolish, right?
Yeah. They did all that to miss the playoffs. For sure.
Do you think those two players save that can make that defense
No, their
better?
defense, it doesn't make their defense better, but is that enough to take them over to any?
Is it enough to overcome 3 and 5 and be competitive for the? So then, what the hell are you doing?
I don't know, man. It's Crypt Keeper. You got the oldest. I mean, literally, dude. That dude's older than Joe Biden. Now they're making decisions.
Would I trade Mason, a number 1, and Junkin for what? You mean Judkins? For what? For what? Who got?
Colts. I think that's the point he was trying to make. That,
like, for what the Colts gave up, a first and a second, and or a first in 26 and a first in 27.
Yeah, but those 2 firsts are going to be. I mean, this year that first is
high.
going to be the 26 or up probably.
Oh, versus what the Jets have. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that. Because we already have 2 firsts in 26. And it's going to be a much higher first. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. The Jags are overperforming. Hopefully that comes to an end soon.
Well, I mean, it'll be better than the
Colts, more than likely, yeah. Unless the Colts nosedive. They looked really bad last week.
Yeah, you're right, Carlisle. His trade was better. Yeah.
But look at this, man. They just paid Sauce and don't have to pay him now. They signed a contract with Sauce. He got some money up front, but it didn't even kicked in yet. So in reality, what the Colts gave up for a player and still had to pay the money, you still got to pay the Sauce the money. That's wild to me. You paid 2 firsts and that. If anything, that should have gotten less than the price.
He's not worth that.
No, he's
a good player.
Yeah,
I'm not saying he's not.
He's got some elite physical traits. He has the longest.
He had a bad year last year.
Yeah, you know, he's on. He came into the league pretty hot. His first 2 years were pretty good, man.
Yeah,
pretty damn good.
But it's a fickle position, man. I don't know how much. You know, you got to have good corners for sure. I don't know if I'd be unloading.
2 firsts. Like I said, man, the Ravens didn't even get 2 first offers for Lamar. That's insane.
Well, that was collusion.
That's insane.
If
you were ever going to spit in the league's face and go get you a player, that was the time to do it.
Yeah. Man. It's upsetting. At least, you know, Depodesta's gone.
Yeah.
So, step 1, he's out the door. The benefit of that is the defender Stefanski is out the door. Barry, I'm going to put a TBD next to it. Even though he's not going to be able to do anything it's just kind of like, how does the season play out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Jimmy just has to just stay the hell out of the way no matter what happens. I mean, so here's
over time he's gotten better about it.
Do we really think that though? Do we know that?
Yeah, because other guys have been fired mid-season. Jimmy was very
he's had more patience for sure.
Yeah, no, that's a better trait. I'll take that. You know, just be the pockets, stay the hell out of the way. But here's the question: who has his ear now?
That's the question.
With Rasputin out of the picture, who has his ear now?
Does anybody?
Well, that's scary, right? It's just Jimmy doing Jimmy
Steve,
shit.
You're right, man. If we could get the Haslams out, that would be the key. Like that, my fear is that is the root of all the problems.
Yeah, that's why. But what's crazy is I remember before it was him, it was the Learners, Al's son. And it was so bad. And it was like, oh, we've changed GM so many times. We've already changed coaches. Now we're changing owners. Now we can get an actual fresh restart. And then this shit's happened. It's like, oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Me too, Carlisle. God, no. Please don't let JW get his ear.
It'll be the Cleveland Dude Wipes.
Yeah, the Dude Wipes.
What's crazy is we're having this big-ass negative conversation. And I expect them to win this week. I expect them to win. I think they'll beat the Jets.
I do too. And that's what's so frustrating is if Shador was playing, at least it would give you like a rallying point that you could like, not that I'm once again, Carlisle, prefacing not that I think he's going to save them from having to draft a future quarterback, but it would at least give you a rallying a point to like be like, oh man, we won with Shador quarterback. We can rally around this and kind of give the locker room a spark. But if you win with Dylan, it does nothing for me.
No, for you, but it accomplishes the exact same thing. I don't,
No, it doesn't.
What do you mean? If it's a meaningless win because you're beating the fucking Jets, neither of those wins mean anything. If it's Shador, it still doesn't mean anything.
Yeah,
it's a bad team.
Right. Ultimately, it doesn't mean anything, but in the locker room, it means something more.
Well, you think they're out on Dylan? You think they're like, fuck this dude?
I don't know that, but I think that they would probably.
We would hear it.
I think they would be.
He's the worst team.
I think they would be quicker to rally around Shador. Don't you?
I don't know. I don't know if they're in on Shador.
They're not idiots. They watch Dylan every day. They know what's a good quarterback. I don't know.
So but if that rationale, they're saying Shador being like, why isn't he starting? If that was the case, we would have heard it. These guys can't keep a leak for nothing. If there was like upheaval because this guy was starting over this guy, we would know.
I think they know. I think they know what Gabriel is, just like we do.
Yeah, I want to see Shador start too. I'm not stumping for Gabriel. Jesus Christ, dude. That's not what's happening here. I'm just saying that if there was upheaval behind the scenes, like why isn't this guy starting and this, we would know. We would.
I don't believe in Shador enough to be like, no, I'm not drafting a quarterback in this class.
If you have the option to take a guy that you believe is a franchise quarterback, you
do it. This is your swing.
That's the whole thing.
This is the whole thing. This is the swing at it. Shador is a shot in the dark. This is the swing at the guy. At least that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Hopefully I'm wrong.
I just hope that we're like, the reason I want Shador to play now is because you're not mailing it in. Like right now, understand this. Myles Garrett took every snap in practice last week because he was not happy with his performance the week before, right?
Correct.
He's not checked out. I don't want him in there when other guys have checked out. I don't want it to, and which is going to happen if this keeps doing what it's doing. So get him in there while people are still giving them their all, please. Because that's the only way to truly evaluate someone, man. So make it, but hopefully that's the thing. If this goes poorly, maybe Reese does have the ability to be like, okay, we're doing this now. Hopefully he does. We won't know until it happens or doesn't happen.
Carlisle, you have a valid point here. I mean, like if Shador doesn't show you anything this year or enough, I don't want him around as the backup next year with a new rookie quarterback in here. The noise is just pointless. It's pointless noise and drama. No?
No, I'm not disagreeing. It's a lot of noise. Dude, it's a lot of noise for nothing.
Absurd amount of noise and drama. Like, so if he works out as a quarterback, great. But like, him as a backup for the guy that you think is that you love makes no sense to me.
It's the reason the league passed on him.
Exactly.
Because they viewed him as a backup and they didn't want the headache for a backup. That's
all right. So good job, Depot, out of town.
It's a win. Chalk that up. That's
one.
That's a dub.
I'm counting that as leg one of the parlay we were talking about. Leg one, we hit.
It hit.
Now we stick and move.
And I didn't see it coming. That's what was also awesome. It wasn't like there was noise that he was about to be out.
Nope.
It was all this. I just saw Jeff Passan report it first.
Stick and move on that parlay. Leg one, we hit it. All right, what's next? We'll find out. I don't know what's next, but that's.
I don't think we find out those till the end of the season.
Listen, him away from Haslam and worrying about baseball. I mean, that changes things and for me as far as like every decision moving forward, because like I know, like, you know, Carlisle was making the point earlier, I think, or maybe it wasn't you, Carlisle, it was somebody else, but like, why do you care? We didn't know what he even did. He was only here on the weekends. Every important decision they've made, he has been in on and had his ear. So getting him the fuck out of here is a good thing. So we applaud that today. We call that a win. We can be positive about that. See you, Chris. Thanks for hanging out. All right. You watched some TV.
Hell yeah, I did.
It. Yeah,
I finished Black Rabbit, dude. That was a ride, man. That was,
dude, so good.
I saw the ending coming when they were going back to the spot. I was like, okay. Yeah. And there was a lot of foreshadowing where they would show you little bits and pieces, and then nothing would pay off immediately, but it would pay off in the end. The show is beautifully done, man. The amount of stress that it caused me while watching, that's how you know something's good.
I did not like the ending.
Yeah. Well, it's a one season thing. They voted it.
I mean, it was great, but like, I didn't want him. I didn't.
No, man. Well, I mean, I don't spoilers and stuff, but
no, spoiler alert there. But I mean, it's not like it was like, it's good for TV, but like, as a dude that was rooting for that character,
yeah. But should we have been rooting for him? Like,
I know.
Like, there's some bad shit happening, man.
I know.
Neither of them were good. There's no heroes. That's one of the shows my wife wouldn't have been on because she'd have got into it. She's like, okay,
heroes.
Who are we rooting for here? Like, she did that with Penguin, and now she was like, so who are we rooting for? I was like, oh, this ain't that kind of party.
This is not that kind of show. Yeah.
Yeah, this is not.
Yeah. Or the person or the person that people like that watch shows like that would be rooting for would have been like the chef, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But she don't win in the end.
No, dude. No. Yeah, she was virtuous and trying doing the right thing at every turn. Yeah. And don't get me wrong, I identified with Jason Bateman's character. Like, I did.
Loved it.
I just did. Like, that doesn't make him a good person, which I don't know if that says about me or whatever.
Yeah. He killed it.
Dude, phenomenal. That for a one-off, a one-season show, that's right up there with anything. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And you pointed it out, man. They took that little corner of the world. They painted that picture so vividly. It's, I was in it, man. Like, I was
like, just this little corner of the world in the city, and they just like the character development over that short of a series, the intensity, the acting, it was just so well done.
And like, I'm not going to say what happened, but like, there's that scene where they're kind of up in their like loft, and he has that bowling ball, and he pulls it out, and then like you find out the story later because they don't even react to it. That's
insane,
dude.
Never saw that stuff coming.
No,
that's the layered stuff. Like,
they show you something that you think's innocuous, but then you find out later that's a bigger thing.
Yeah.
A+ TV, man.
A+, yeah, absolutely. And then in those two together, you wouldn't think, you wouldn't know, but their like chemistry was incredible.
Yeah. And like at the beginning, you think you're rooting for Jude Law's character, Jake.
Yep.
You think you are. And then you find out more about him. It's like, no, he's a piece of shit too. Like, equally as flawed.
Thank you for the kind words, World's Fastest. I appreciate you, man. Hey, guys, to wrap tonight, for as shit as this team is, for all the pain over all the years, the bond we share makes it less crap. Thank you all for being part of the family. Much love. Spam.
Well said.
For real, man. For real, World's Fastest. I couldn't said it any better, brother. And I appreciate this hour every Thursday for sure, guys. For all you guys showing up, and we'll talk about this stuff. Now, saw the first episode of Task.
I did.
All right, and you're in, right?
Oh yeah, I'm in. The way that first episode ended, man, I didn't see the last twist while they're still in the house. I don't know what
Yeah.
I got one foot off the merry-go-round right now. I don't know what's going to happen going forward. So, but Tom Pelphrey's character,
so good.
Oh, he's a good actor, man. That dude's super underrated. I didn't know his actual name. I just knew him as the dude from Banshee. That's how I knew Tom Pelphrey.
Yeah, I didn't even put it together till you told me that.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm
It's a
like,
bad
oh
dude,
my
man.
God, that's the cop in Banshee, and he's so good in Banshee too,
Ex-skin
in that
head, dude. Like
role.
that role is amazing in Banshee.
Yeah. Like not even a role that like when you think about Banshee that you would even like think of like right away, but like
Mhm.
yeah, because he came along later on in the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
series.
It was later in the series, but he very
But
impactful.
Task is, I mean, Task is just as good. And the guy, what's his name?
Mark
I've never
Ruffalo.
been like a huge fan of him. Ruffalo.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo.
I don't think I've seen a lot that like I'm a huge fan of Ruffalo
Yeah,
in, but he's really good in this.
yeah.
Tremendous.
Mark Ruffalo. He was in first time I saw him was in a movie with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx that I'm losing my mind because I can't think of the name
Oh,
of it.
is it the one with
He's a
where?
cab driver and
Yep.
Cruise is a hitman. It's amazing. It's a
Yep.
Michael Mann movie. Cruise plays Vincent. For whatever reason, I'm blanking on the title. That's the first time I saw him. But he was also in a movie called The Brothers Bloom. It's about con artists. I loved his character in that. So I've always kind of had a soft spot for Ruff a little bit.
Yeah, world's fastest man. You gotta get into Banshee again, man. It's not hard to get into. It moves fast, and it is like it's
Again,
not.
though,
It's
that's another show. It's like, who are we rooting for?
yeah,
Who are we
yeah.
rooting for in this?
It's nonstop action. Yeah, but like I'm rooting for that dude from the get for sure.
Yeah, but he's done
Yeah,
some things.
yeah. He's a piece, but he's also a
When
good
they
guy
show
at
the
the same time.
flashback to prison with him,
Yeah, Charlie, good to see you, man. We were celebrating Depodesta being out. We talked about some dark stuff about the
it was the
Browns
feel
before
good
talking.
episode of feel good episodes.
Yeah, yeah. Some highs and lows in this episode.
Yeah.
And then
That's the reason I actually put this record up right here.
yeah,
Theater of Pain.
yeah,
Figured it would represent us tonight.
yeah. So yeah, what else? Yeah, but that's Banshee. If you guys haven't seen Banshee yet, that's
I'm hoping to knock a few more episodes out of Task this week. Now that I got Black Rabbit behind me, and because you said they're done with Task, right? They've already released all the episodes.
it's done.
Okay.
It's done. It's
and
not
I know you're
long.
done.
I saw it all.
Probably is it 8 episodes or 6?
I think it's 8.
So was Black Rabbit. All right.
Damn good. Damn good.
Yeah, I'll try to knock some of it out.
Yeah.
I'm going to a Lego convention this weekend, though. I'm pumped about it.
Is that your jam?
Yeah, it's my youngest. We build together. She's a master builder. I just do as I'm told. But there's a Lego convention.
Yeah.
This weekend where I'm at.
I went to the Cavs game with my son last night.
I meant to ask you about that because you posted that picture in the Slack channel.
How funny is that?
He was staring at you, man.
He was staring
mugging you. Mugging you. Yeah.
So we went to the Cavs game last night. I'll tell the story for anybody that didn't see it, but like, and I was standing where we had great seats. We were like second row, but like right behind the Sixers bench, like caddy corner, like where they come out the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
And Embiid was there, but of course not playing. Second night of a back-to-back. He played the night before. He didn't play any back-to-backs. He's my kid's favorite player, right?
Oh, okay.
Embiid.
He wasn't playing, man.
He loves the Sixers, right? And that's why we're there. And I love the Cavs. So we always go to every Sixers Cavs game that we can. And but we had great seats. And so we didn't even know Embiid. We're like, oh, Embiid didn't even travel with the team. He's not out there. Paul George is out there. Their other rookie kid or second year player, McCain, is out there. He's in street clothes. Half their team isn't fucking hurt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Except for Maxey. And then around like third quarter after halftime, here comes Embiid out of the tunnel. He must have been getting treatment the first half or something like that, right? Comes out, his big ass dude. He sits down in the first chair he goes to sit in on the bench, like right down in front of it. Breaks the chair.
Shut up. I didn't see that. That happened?
Breaks the chair, yeah.
That's awesome.
So he's got like 4 cushions on this chair. Anyway, he's standing there. I'll get to the story. But so I'm standing up for my son's 20. He's not like a little kid. He's standing there. And we were just like at a timeout. and I start like just zooming in on Embiid, right? Because he's like grabbing his wrist. He's doing something weird. He's like rubbing his wrist and he's looking around. And I'm zooming in just to take a couple pictures for my kid. And you can see like he kind of notices like something.
Yeah.
And I'm taking like a picture like every couple seconds. And the first two, he's just like looking around like this and he's rubbing his wrist. And then I look at in my camera as I snap the next one, and he's kind of side-eyed, but he's looking like right at me as I'm taking the picture. And he's side-eyed looking at me like this. And then I continue to take pictures, and then he looks straight up at me, and he just gives me like the death stare of all time. And I just snap this picture of him staring straight at me. It's freaking hilarious, dude. I started laughing so hard. He's like, dude, was Embiid just death staring you? My kid was. And I was like, dude, it's so funny. And you can see it like moment by moment, like him like realizing and then seeing me and then giving me this death stare. It's pretty funny.
Was that the most? So what Mitchell score? 40 what?
46.
Is that the most you've ever seen from a player in person?
No.
What's the most points you've seen by a single player in person?
In the NBA?
Yeah.
Or just in general?
Yeah. Well, not the time you housed LeBron James. I don't talk about that anymore. That's old news.
No, that may have been the most I've ever seen in the NBA in a game. I didn't even think about that though. Dude, he scored it so effortlessly.
Hmm.
It was like he had a quiet 21 in the first half. You just look up and he's got 21.
Yeah, it used to happen to me all the time. You know,
the second half, he just freaking just got hot. He's unstoppable. When he gets hot, he's unstoppable.
I'll bring this back to a Browns conversation real quick.
Yeah.
The most points I've ever seen scored in person in any game ever was 72 points by Webster Slaughter. He put it on the Chillicothe Fire Department and Police Force. They combined to play the Browns traveling team, and this would have been probably 80.
And he scored 72 points?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It was wild. He's great, by the way. Webster Slaughter at basketball. I watched him play in 2 years back to back. The next year, he came late. He showed up at halftime and still busted ass 40-some points and a half, dude. But it's also against local firefighters and cops wouldn't like comp. Yeah. But I'm just telling you right now, Webster Slaughter could hoop.
Still impressive, yeah.
Very, dude.
Regardless,
I was a small child, and I was like, he's one of my favorite receivers of all time. Yeah,
that's awesome. What was I going to say? Last thing I was going to say before we get out of here, because I still got to go record this other show.
Hardest working man in the biz.
Yeah, right. I was trying to think of who I've seen score the most points. I think in like the state basketball championships, I used to go every year. Mm-hmm. I remember one year I don't even remember who it was. But maybe it was, I don't know. I've seen somebody score like 60 before though. In a game. In a high school game.
Yeah.
Which is less like 8-minute quarters, which is crazy.
I watched Bobby Hoying tomahawk dunk on my squad when my team made state. Not that I wasn't on the team. I was in fifth grade.
I got dunked on by some people before in real life. In high school, for real. I took a hard foul in that St. V game against one of LeBron's boys.
Yeah.
Not to let him dunk on me. They tried to throw an oop, and I took a hard foul.
But no.
They didn't like it.
Did you do the...
No, it's not like I could jump with him. I just pushed him. And then the whole St. V student section started yelling at me and screaming at me and stuff. Like, come on, man. I wasn't going to get dunked on. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Aaron, everybody. Depodesta out.
Deuces.
Good riddance. Good riddance. If you don't, I'm not like a huge fan of Barstool Sports or anything, right? Like, some of their stuff is okay, but they do a show. It's like a skit show called Out of Context. Have you ever seen it?
I don't believe so.
Okay. It's on, you can find the YouTube channel. And it's also there's a Twitter bio that has all their skits in it, and they do a Moneyball skit. Of the when he's in the room and he's throwing the things up and he's like, we got to replace this many homers and this many RBIs. And he's snapping and pointing to Jonah. He gets on base.
Yeah.
They do a Moneyball skit of that. It's freaking hilarious. Go check it out. It's called Out of Context. Moneyball Barstool. Check out the skit. It's great.
I love Moneyball, the movie, by the way. Love it.
Yeah, me too.
It's one of my favorite
favorites of
movies.
all time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good show. Had fun. Ups and downs. Just like the Brownies.
I was about to say, this is just like the team we're talking about.
All right. You guys have a wonderful night. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you get over to Browns Film Breakdown and subscribe if you're not already. Best Browns community going right now. So get over there and get to be a part of it. It is important. No matter what is going on with the season, it will be very important to document the car crash and what happens in the next few. I know it doesn't seem important right now, but it will be important, and certainly at times will be very entertaining. So this matters. This counts. This stuff matters for real as we come back from it.
We're here. We're here for the long term, bud.
We ain't going nowhere. All right. You got anything else?
Love you guys. That's all I got.
Same. For Casey Kinnamon, I'm Brad Ward. This has been All Eyes on Cleveland on the Browns Film Breakdown Network, provided by FanDuel. We are out.